I'm so excited to try out my new thermometers.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, no. Those...
I got nothing to talk about, man. I've been neating it up. I don't go out there. I mean, there's no third place anymore, right?
Yeah.
There's no. It's all expensive out there.
Yeah.
Can't go out, so just sitting on Amazon buying thermometers for cooking.
That's the life. That's the life.
Got me some new steak knives. Like, yeah.
I've been looking at some new knives.
New peelers. That was the big one. My peeler was so old.
Yeah. No, I got a good peeler, but I actually
You still got my bread knife.
Well, see, that's the thing is I have your bread knife, and then because you left it there, and then I kept forgetting to bring it over. And then I was like, okay, well, I'm going to make sure to bring it. And then you literally said, nah, just forget it. I'll get another one.
And I never got
so
another.
now I'm like, I've never thought to bring it back because you've said just forget it. So now I'll bring it back next time. If that's
I don't know. I don't make bread as often as I used to.
Yeah.
But the last time I did, I was like, fuck the bread knife.
hey, you didn't.
I need to at least give you the sheath for it.
You didn't even have to bring the bread. I have my own bread knife. I had one.
Yeah, I don't know. Why did I bring my bread knife? I just assumed, I guess.
Just didn't trust me. No, I've been looking at knives, even though I don't need. Like, I have some good knives. I do. I got some nice knives. They work great. They're wonderful. But I don't know. I'm just like,
don't buy a vegetable knife.
A vegetable knife.
You'll never use it.
Okay.
So I have a vegetable knife. I have a chef's knife. I have a boning knife. Which if you don't have a boning knife, I highly suggest getting a boning knife.
Yeah. I
used
one.
to have a bread knife. And I've got what's a really small one?
Paring knife.
Paring knife.
Yeah.
That scares the hell out of me.
Oh, it's No,
that is the most. The first time I tried to use it, I almost just like caught my jugular because I was watching Chef Jean Pierre.
Yeah.
As we like here at the Watching It podcast. Check out his YouTube channel. It's fantastic for learning how to cook. And he does this trick where he like cores an onion with a paring knife. And I tried that, and that paring knife just like flew out of the onion and got like inches away from my throat, and I was just like, okay, I'm not gonna try to do that anymore. So it's there to cut garlic. That's what it's there for.
I was watching a video of this guy. It's like easy way to chop onions and dice them. Actually, no,
and cherry tomatoes.
I think it was might have been Chef Jean Pierre. But I watched the video. And he's like, yeah, that's how you chop onions perfectly every time. Just blah 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 blah. And I was like, so I went over to my mom's house, and I was making spaghetti, and he had chop up diced some onion for it. And I got this. I was like, nope, I'm fucking it up. Nope. And then I'm like dicing them, and I'm not anywhere close to getting a great dice like he did. I'm just like, just because you can watch a man do it online does not.
I'm too like scared. Yeah. I'm never gonna be like super fast with the chef's knife, like just like dicing real quick.
I used to be pretty fast actually back when I worked at the restaurant. Like, and I also used to be like back at the restaurant. It used to be all the time. Like you're chopping, and because we were doing like 5 million things plus, we're all friends and stuff, and so we're joking and stuff. Like I'd be chopping stuff, not even looking, it's not even looking. And now I look back and like, that was that was not
I used to be
good.
able to juggle the knives.
I used to
because I juggle. I don't know. I've shown you me juggling before. I'm sure you've seen it. I'm out of practice, but when I worked there, I started like because I was the dough cutter at the pizza place. I got so used to the knives that I was like would just flip them. Yeah. And then I was like, oh wait, I'm a juggler. I can flip this knife pretty good. We got 3 of the same knives. Let me just normally like jugglers when they're juggling knives, they're dull as hell. Yeah. No, these were like razor sharp, like
kitchen
implements
knives
of destruction. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I really enjoyed doing I can't juggle, but I would do knife flipping all the time and catching it on the blade and stuff. And the thing that I always think is funny is like I never cut myself doing knife flipping, but I cut myself so many times just chopping stuff. But it's like, but flipping knives, catching the blade and all that stuff, like perfectly fine.
Yeah.
But
that's probably like the coolest thing I was doing is I was juggling them and I caught one behind my back.
Yeah.
Like that was like everyone was like, whoa, dude, like that's cool. Like, I'm like, yeah, I'm not a nerd anymore.
And you showed everyone that you caught it because it was stuck into your hand.
The juggling is like a dorky, nerdy thing. Yeah. Until you get good at it. And then it's like, okay, there's a
juggling and magic
point.
Are in this category that if you get good enough, everyone thinks you're cool. But before then, like it's a long road of struggle and being like, look at this douchebag over here doing card tricks and
look at this dweeb
juggling and stuff. But once you get good enough, people are like, That's pretty cool. That's pretty clever. How do you do that? You know, so yeah, it's those are talents that if you wanna reap through awards, you're gonna go through a lot of suffering before you get there.
That could be fun, learning sleight of hand.
Oh, I used to.
I feel like there's a lot of practical applications for sleight of hand.
Oh, so I grew up and I don't know any of them anymore, but I knew so many magic tricks and card tricks. Like that was my jam. I used to watch. I'm not sure if you're the Masked Magician. You ever hear about that guy?
The Masked Magician?
The Masked Magician. He was this magician who basically started showing how magic tricks are done. And the magic community hated this guy. Yeah. But I loved watching him because, like,
Penn and Teller did that too.
It doesn't, for me, because that thing is like, I know there's no such thing as magic. I know when the guy, you know, cuts a lady in half or teleports across the room, that it was done by a trick and all that. So, like, for me, when I see how it's done, it doesn't ruin it for me because for me, like, that's still a skill. Like, to be able to pull that off and so smooth. Like, there's so many, like, talking about sleight of hand, and it's seen, like, there's this one guy who does a lot of ball and cup stuff, but he does it. And actually, and this is what, for me, like I said, this is what proves that magic doesn't need to be hidden to still be amazing. Because he does magic, ball and cup stuff, but also while doing it, he'll even show how he's doing it, but he's doing it so fast that it's still, like, he'll be like, see, it's not over this cup, it's over this cup. I told you it was. And, like, he was telling the whole time, but it was so smooth and so fast that you're just like, I don't, like, even though you saw him do it, you're just like, how? And stuff. So I'm like, it's still amazing to me. And so, like, I always wanted, growing up, magic was my jam. But
have you ever heard of Richard Turner? You probably have seen him.
Maybe.
He's like a card guy who, like, he just sits at the deck and then it just, like, makes the cards do whatever he wants them to do. Yeah. Like, come out, he'll just shuffle them and they'll come out in a whole new order. Mm-hmm. And then he'll, like, shuffle the whole thing up and he'll show that they're all, like, completely just randomized. And then he'll do one shuffle and then all of a sudden they're all in order. Yeah. And stuff like that. Dude's blind.
Freaking A.
It's like there's a great documentary about it, and it is crazy, like just how much he practices to know how to do that. And he's talking about like having sex with his wife, and she'll just start hearing the cards shuffling because he's practicing while they're having sex. I'm like, that's hardcore, dude. I'm like, hey man,
I mean, if he can shuffle a deck and manipulate the cards that well, I imagine he has some great hands, though. I imagine she's given her quite the experience. Like, yes, you do have to deal with your husband being obsessed with card tricks and constantly stuff, but I imagine you've had some good times with them hands.
Anyway, this is Talkin It, episode 37, brought to you by the Watching It podcast. Thanks for being here. Yeah, Donnell, we got to get something. I missed something in our last watching his show. Oh. Just got to get it out of the way. Okay. Have you seen Amadeus?
I have not.
Okay, good. We can move on.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Yeah. You know, my fear, though, is that at some point it's just going to become like a badge of honor. Yeah. Like, I've never been to a Starbucks, even though I've lived in Seattle for 20 years. Yeah. And now it's just like, well, now I can't go.
Now you can't go. Yeah, no. Yeah. If you did, it'd just, be terrible.
I mean, I have no desire to, since I'm not a big coffee drinker to begin with.
It's nothing that.
My understanding is that Starbucks coffee is not that great.
No,
and it's overpriced.
Everything's overpriced. There's nothing special about it. It's just, and so much of it is just how much sugar can we put in this drink to make it more appealing. It's no. But I had something I was going to say before that.
I derailed you with the power of Amadeus.
You did. Oh, yeah. So I have, and this is going to be the final one. I just feel like at this point, because of a choice I almost made, I'm like, nah, we got to step away from this story, folks.
The cards.
This is the final update of the cards. I've finally seen.
I don't believe you.
I've finally seen one of the drivers.
Oh.
She was.
Was this random chance, or were you like?
Random chance, but here's the problem. The other driver who I haven't seen, there was not a situation, but basically, so I'll start with that. So I was driving into work, and I pulled up to the gate, and I'm waiting for the gate to open, and I look in my rearview mirror, and I couldn't see who was in the car, but I saw the red car pull up behind me.
Yeah.
Oh, and so then I was like, this is them. This is what we've been waiting for. And so start driving down through the garage, trying to find a parking spot, but also kind of watching them. And so I finally pull over and I start to park, and they drive by me, and I pause for a second, like, we should follow them. And I was like, no, how weird that would be. Like, they saw me pull into a parking spot, but I almost did. But then I got out, because so the parking garage, you come down one side, you go around the other side, there's an elevator in the middle where both sides can meet. And so like I then like got out of my car and like grabbed my backpack and I was like rushing. And then I got to the elevator and I saw them park, but they weren't getting out of their car. And then I was like, do I just wait? Do I just wait? And like I don't know what they were doing in that car, man. It was like 45 seconds, still no one getting out of the car. And I'm like, I can't.
I'm a fast get out of the car.
Me
guy.
too.
Yeah.
I'm out of the car ready to go, but now I'm standing in the elevator just waiting for this person that I don't know. I'm like, this is getting weird. And so then the elevator opened.
I'm a slow pull out guy.
Mm-hmm.
That sounds terrible. Anyway, when I get in the car at the end of the day, I'm like, I need a good 30 seconds of just like, before I get on the road with other humans.
I'm the same way. But yeah, so then I was on the 3rd floor. And so all of a sudden the elevator opens from the 4th floor, someone like going up, and they're looking at me, and I'm looking at them like, well, if I don't get in the elevator, this looks even worse. So I got on the elevator and went about my business, never saw who was in the red car. And that also made me rethink my life choices. The fact that I was debating following this person in the garage and waiting for him in the elevator.
You got to put notes on their car and be like, hey, look, I do this podcast. And we need to interview you.
We need you guys on. We need to know what your relationship is.
So first got which car?
So the red car.
That
male
was the
guy. One. No, the red car I never saw.
Okay.
Car. So the yellow car was a little Asian woman.
Okay.
I mean, age? It looked like she was probably in like her late 20s.
Okay.
Yeah, and fairly attractive. You know, whoever is in the red car. Well, I'm just saying, whoever was in the red car, like he or she, because once again, having not seen the red car, and I'm just assuming they were in a relationship. I mean, maybe they're just friends, or maybe they don't even know. I refuse to think that it was too long of them parking together. That they know each other at least. That's where, and I'm going for relationship. I imagine they had a relationship. They're not, like I said, they're still not parking together, but they're both.
Wouldn't they drive in together?
Well, that thing is most of the time, and actually,
I guess that's if they live together. That doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
They could just be in a relationship. Yeah.
Exactly. You know, you can be dating somebody not living together, Robert. Yeah. It happens.
Fair enough.
But they usually that's the thing is I was there early that morning for something I had to do, and so like that's why I never see them drive in because they always get there way earlier before me. So this was my first time, and I was just like, yep. But anyways, that's the like I said, the wrap up is. I know who one of them is now. I mean, I haven't talked to them and stuff, but I've seen one of them. They're still not parking together, but they both have returned to the office, so neither one of them killed the other. And I'm still, I mean, like I said, I'm not going to be tracking it as much, but I'm still rooting for them. I'm still hoping they figure it out, you know? Relationships are hard.
What are the
if
chances
you're listening?
What are the chances they've never seen each other or met? It's got to be 0, right?
I feel like
if
it has
they park
to be 0.
next to each other
for a good year.
Yeah,
they park next to each other every day. There's no. I mean, I could see, like I said, because their cars make you think of ketchup and mustard just when they park next to each other, and so I could see maybe one of them seeing the other and started parking there as a joke, like without knowing them and stuff, and then they both kept it up. But I still feel like even in that scenario, even if that's how it started, it was like, aha, look at this, catch a mustard car and stuff.
An Asian lady drives the yellow car?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, unacceptable. That's odd. I don't know why that's upsetting to me. I mean, it means that definitely a guy is driving, like a white dude is driving the red car.
Maybe. I mean, we don't know. Anybody in a red car, you know. Like I said,
look. I'm going full Power Rangers color scheme on this. Yeah.
I mean, then that make him a Native American dude. Yeah,
the red car?
Yeah.
No, the red car. The Red Ranger was a white dude.
I thought he was Native American. I thought he was like half Native American.
No, the Green Ranger, I think, was maybe had some Native
Ranger.
American.
Oh yeah. Now I'm getting them mixed up.
So the Yellow Ranger was the Asian girl.
Yellow Ranger was
Black Ranger was the black guy. Pink Ranger was the girl. Was the white girl.
Yep.
And then
Blue Ranger was the nerd.
Was another white guy. Yeah.
But nerd. And then Red Ranger was yep. And then Green Ranger showed up. Yeah. And then in later seasons they started mixing up the
White
colors.
Ranger.
And what I really hated. I mean, I don't even know how he got to Power Ranger, but what I really hated about Power Ranger is like, I mean, yes, it was ridiculous that the Black Ranger was the black guy, but what I hated more than the Black Ranger being the black guy was when they just decided, hey, we're making the Green Ranger permanent, and the Black Ranger just gone for like so many seasons of Power Ranger. It was just now instead of being, red, pink, yellow, blue, and black, it was red, pink, yellow, blue, and green. I was like, what the hell's going on?
Very important question, Donnell.
Yes.
Power Rangers or VR Troopers?
VR Troopers.
Yeah, buddy.
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about. VR Troopers was like
I
one
was
of them was
never
an
even
alien or something. Like
I was never
wild.
even a fan of Power Rangers. It was more of just like because I was a kid growing up at that time, like I had to watch it in a sense, you know, like it was one of the things like if you aren't watching Power Rangers, everyone's like
elementary school me. Power Rangers a very significant portion of the social structure. At the school.
If you didn't have Power Rangers to talk to, people were like, "What are you doing with your life?" Like that, it was just you were messing up.
If you had like the full toy set that could turn into the robot, you were like the king.
Oh yeah. If you had the freaking Zoids and can combine them all and do no, that's not Zoids. That's a totally different franchise. What are they called though?
I don't know what they are. The Autobots or no, that's I don't know.
It's another one, Robert. You're all over the place. No.
Look, I'm still waiting for the train. I don't know why this just popped into my head, but I'm still waiting for the Transporter movie that's like Streetcar Named Desire. I need the love story.
Yes.
Just like no action, just like Bumblebee dating something, you know, a Porsche.
A streetcar.
Streetcar.
I mean,
Yeah.
Gotta be. Got to.
Yeah. Excellent.
So yesterday, Robert, today is Saturday. So yesterday, my job, we had our we have like these team building things.
I hate them.
They call them retreats, but I'm like, we're just at one of our buildings.
I like when we played laser tag that one time.
Yeah, that was great. So anyways, we had our team building retreat. One is still on like a year and a half in. I'm still like last week when Memorial Day weekend, the only reason I didn't, so we had Friday and Monday off, and the only reason I didn't work Friday was because I happened to ask somebody to give me a hand on Friday, and they're like, oh, we don't work. And I was like, yeah, I'm still not getting the company emails.
Yeah.
And so
see, look, I don't go, they're like, oh, we're doing a team thing. I'm like, well, I'm a contractor. I'm not part of the team.
Yeah.
You want to make me part of the team, I'll come to the team thing. But,
yeah. I mean,
like you said, you're not getting the company.
Well, no, so I knew about the thing. They put me in the meeting, but there was a share file that had these files in it. And they're like, yeah, I sent it out to everybody. And Thursday, it's like Thursday, like 2:00. And I'm like, I should probably check out that share file before I go home and stuff because it's going to be for this thing tomorrow. And I go to check out the share file. I can't access it, of course. So then I emailed the guy who's sitting. I was like, hey, can't open it. Not sure if there's anything you can do in the next hour and a half.
Yeah.
And so then he emailed me back at like 5:30. They're like, oh, we'll figure it out tomorrow. And so I'm like, all right. So we go to this thing, and our team building thing was basic. So my company, I'm not saying any names, my company, we either build or purchase buildings and
manage them,
manage them and renovate them and stuff. And so our team building thing was essentially we broke out into 4 teams of people, and we had to go through and basically like there's a building that it turns out we actually are purchasing and stuff, but we had to go through a case of like, are we going to get it? Are we not? Why should we? All this stuff. And
this isn't like a team building exercise. This is work.
Well, that's one thing.
Just
I was like,
test.
As we were going through it, I'm like, are we? Because we were basically building proposals, to present to our higher ups of why we should buy this building. And I'm like, are we going to use these legitly?
What do you have to do with that, Donnell?
Well, that thing is, as a team, they wanted us all to do it. And there was part of me, like I said, as one thing, I was just sitting there like, I'm not sure how. They started talking about like, square footage and what's good about the building. And I'm like, dude, I don't know any of this stuff. And
do
then
they have palladium cable?
But then the biggest thing was this is like those papers, those stuff like had all the information. So I'm sitting there like, I'm like, oh, I gotta have some sort of input. So why everybody's like talking about stuff? I'm like trying to go through these papers and it's like a whole report.
Yeah.
And I'm just sitting there just like, hey, this ain't working. So I just kind of was like, I'm just gonna let everybody else talk. I did the whole as you do in a group project. You just let the group do the thing, and then everyone had to present something. So I picked the one thing that made the most sense to me of like presenting like why, because they're talking about like different stuff about building codes, and I'm like, I'm just here to plug in the phone. Like, I don't know why this wall is better than that wall. And honestly, I don't want to know. But, so you
could look at the age of the building and be like, the network infrastructure is going to have to be replaced in X number of years.
Mm-hmm.
And
that was one of the things I brought up. I was talking about looking at the building, and they gave us the layouts, and there were no network closets anywhere, which made me like, okay, so all the network has to be in the electrical rooms. Like, that's the only place that makes sense. But if that's the case, and then I was like explaining to him why that's not a good thing, is like, on the rare off chance, if there's something that goes down in the building, like electrically and networkly at the same time, well, technically, when the electricians are in there, we can't be working on it, so it's just delaying the resolution longer, and then it just makes it less manageable. So I put in my input, but also I'm like, now that's going into the proposal. That's like after we buy the building. This is stuff we source out. Like, we probably want to put in network closets and get this up to snuff.
My God, that network situation on the bottom floor of the Kirkland building, where it's like you had to climb the ladder to get up to. I was like, oh, this is the worst.
No, but anyway, so afterward we got to do our team event. So down in Seattle, there is this thing called the Electric Boat Company.
Okay.
And they have a scavenger hunt thing you can do. So that was our team doing. The thing that amazes me about this company, I'm like, I don't know. I mean, everyone has to sign waivers, so maybe that's how it is. But I'm like, I don't know how you guys are still functioning. Because we showed up, and they had already decided 3 captains for the 3 boats we were taking out.
Okay. And you are actually taking boats.
Yeah, we're taking boats. And,
onto the Sound.
Onto Lake Washington. So not the Sound.
Okay.
But still, and so like our 3 captains went. They watched the video. Our captains were only gone for about 7 minutes, so this was not a long video. And then they gave us a boat that we filled with booze.
Okay.
And then they told us there's life jackets underneath the seats if you need them. And then they just pushed us out. They did not come with us. This company did not come with us. And then we talked to the guy who drove our boat. I was like, hey, did they pick you? Like, have you driven a boat before? And he was like, oh, yeah. I'm like, oh, is that why you were picked? And he was like, oh, no, I didn't tell anybody. They just kind of picked us at random. Like, oh, so our captains are all picked at random. Like, I mean, not to say that anybody, but I'm just like, how is this? You just give people a boat. And like there were rules.
That's not okay because you have to get licensed to drive a boat on Lake Washington.
Maybe not electric boats. I don't know.
Any boat.
All I know is this rental company's running, and they just give you a boat and be like, "See ya."
That's crazy.
Be back in 2 hours.
So y'all just drive the boats around Lake Washington and get drunk?
There was a scavenger hunt thing that you basically you had this tablet and like little dots. There are so many, but little dots which are on it, and there are points. And so you drive to one of the dots, and a question would pop up, and you answer the question, and then you get the points.
That's so weird.
Right.
Who came up with that?
Don't know. I mean, it was fun. It was fun enough. It was a good time.
Oh, yeah, you're on a boat with beer. How could it not be?
I just kept thinking about...
It's like, oh, who knew that fried chicken tasted good?
We're out there. We're out there on the boat, and like there's people in kayaks, and there's yachts, and there's speedboats. And
which is why you get a license, so that way you know how not to crash into them.
There's freaking seaplanes landing. And like, so like that's they did make it clear, like, hey...
Well, that's Lake Union.
This area...
With the seaplanes. I don't think seaplanes land in Lake Washington.
Maybe it's Lake Union. Yeah. Oh, yeah. We were in Lake Union because that was one of the questions. There's a paddle team, and it was like, which paddle team shouldn't be here based off the name? And the Lake Washington paddle team practices on Lake Union. But yeah, so there's seaplanes, and there's all this stuff, and I'm just like I said, the guy who was driving our boat and everybody like they did a fine job. But I'm just like, there's freaking okay. So like I said, we were in a little electric boat. You know, and we, like I said, we were drinking, but we weren't drinking. It was a company thing, so we're not drinking too much. We're not getting drunk or anything and stuff. But my thing is, like, there were these boats, these hot tub boats that are essentially a hot tub with, for whatever reason, I guess it's so they can power the boat and power the hot tub. They have, like, steam engines on them, these hot tub boats.
Okay.
Or, I mean, they're hot tub boats. So we saw them out there. You know, they're going to be for, you know, teenagers or, you know, 20-year-olds to go out on the lake in a hot tub and drink a bunch and have a good time.
Yeah.
And this is in the same place where we're tutting around on electric boats. There's yachts and there's kayaks and then there's seaplanes landing. Yeah. And the whole time I'm just like,
Lake Union is chaos.
How the hell is there not lawsuits everywhere?
Yeah. Lake Union is not a chill place.
No.
Lake Washington's a chill place.
Mm-hmm.
Lake Union is like a parking garage.
Yeah.
That is very active.
We watched. I mean,
it's like where all the boats are stored.
Yeah.
And then you go either out to the Sound or you go to Lake Washington because it's all connected right through the locks. Yeah, and you got the seaplanes landing on top of that. Outside of like the 4th of July, because it has that like great view of the Space Needle where they're gonna do all the fireworks. Like that fills up.
Yeah,
with boats just chilling there, but that's not cool.
I'll just say, while we were out there, I mean, we saw people on stand-up paddleboard. We saw a dude on a hydrofoil. Have you seen those?
Oh yeah,
those things still like I get the science behind them. They still blow my mind. Just like watching these guys bob across the top of the water, and it's like I mean, I get it, but I don't get it. But yeah, we saw like hydrofoil, hot tub. Like I said, we had the hot tub boats, other electric boats. There were yachts, seaplanes, all this. I'm just like, this is.
You ever watch the America's Cup?
Mm-mm.
It's the oldest like sports trophy in the world,
All right,
and it's
all
for yacht sailing.
Mm.
That shit's crazy.
Mm.
Like they just like have 1.5 fins in the water, and it's like
Oh yeah.
it's like
okay,
a 50,000-pound boat
Yeah.
just like
They're
hovering
just
and going
yeah.
like 50 miles an hour. Like it's crazy.
insane. Yeah. No, watching those sailboats as they're just like barely in the water and they're just flying. It's also very interesting. I mean, because like you said 50 miles per hour and stuff. And I think it's like it's very interesting how much speed feels different depending on what you're in.
Yeah.
Because
yeah.
like I was actually,
I mean, it's all in knots or something like that.
But I was on I remember my senior year of high school, our senior like trip thing. Well, it wasn't our senior trip. It was because we had a senior trip that was something else. I don't even know what this was, but for some reason there was like this thing where all the seniors went on a sailboat. It was like for some project thing. We were doing some sea life thing, but we were all on a sailboat. And like we were on the sailboat, and I don't know how fast we got, but like I know we were like cruising at a decent speed, nothing crazy, and it feels like you're really hauling. But then when you look at it, it's like 30 miles per hour, comparatively.
I mean, when you're exposed to the air, it's a lot different than when you've got like a glass windshield in front of you.
Yeah, 100%. But it was interesting. We my team won the scavenger hunt.
Nice.
We kind of came to the conclusion because we're like looking around, we hadn't seen the other teams. We're like, they're probably just parked somewhere drinking.
That's
like,
right. They're not playing the game.
We're the only ones tutting around this lake, answering questions. Everybody else is like, what are we doing?
They're the real winners.
We're on a boat on a lake with alcohol. Why would we do it? I mean, we talked about it a few times. Like maybe we should just.
I mean, was it fun to drive? Did you get to drive the boat?
No, only the captain got to drive the boat.
Okay.
I was the navigator though. I had the map.
Nice.
I was telling us where to go. But yeah, no, it was fun. Still, it was a good time. I enjoyed it. But like I said, we did discuss like we could just park.
Yeah.
Have a few drinks and enjoy ourselves.
Well, we're going to take a break there, and when we come back, we're going to talk about some news.
Mm-hmm. All right, we are back. And Robert, I got a story or a story about somebody we've talked about before.
Oh.
So I can't remember how long ago it was, but do you remember the man in Japan?
Wait. Don't tell me anymore. He made the full dog costume.
Yes.
That
$14,000.
As soon as you said about someone we talked about before, that's exactly what popped into my mind as the guess.
Yes.
Was like the dude who made the realistic dog costume.
Yep. So our man, as we talked about before, he made a full border collie suit. And like I know like people talk about furries. This man's not a furry.
Yeah.
Because like furries they're wearing animal costumes, but like you clearly know that's not a real wolf or whatever. Like it's
cartoonish.
It's cartoonish. This man made
like
his
realistic,
border collie suit, and he like if you saw him from a distance and even up close, if you weren't paying attention, you would think this was a border collie.
Yeah.
This suit is, I mean, here he is, Robert. I know you've seen it before.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. He is just full on. Well, so he has been living his life as a dog. I mean, he has a full-time job.
He's living life like a stealth game.
His name or the name he goes by is Toko, the human collie.
Yeah.
And he's been living as a dog. And he was recently interviewed talking about, what it's like and his struggles. He brought up one of the things that it's for him that's very hard, which I mean, anybody else, like I said, this guy's dedicated, but anybody else would be like, well, no, duh. Is, humans and dogs have a very different bone structure. Yeah. And so being on all fours all the time really, really puts a lot of strain on his arms and legs. And he basically has been rethinking things. He still loves being so I wonder about him, like not mentally, but just like just because I wonder if he has some social anxiety, because he talks about how he's much happier being a dog than a human, which people there. That's the thing in the article is I talk about some people have been up in arms about how this man talks about humanity and stuff. Yeah. But also I look at humans and I'm like, humans kind of suck sometimes. And I have a dog and I'm like, he's freaking carefree and just having a good life. And sometimes like I envy my dog at times. So I'm like, I get it. I can understand that rationale. But anyways, so he loves being a dog, but he's just talking about the strain that's put on him. So he made an announcement.
Naked under there or wearing clothes?
I don't know. I've never. He has to be naked. Mainly because you would be dying of heat. Like this suit is legit. Yeah, but I mean, you're fully. So he fulfilled his dream of being a dog. He still has a suit, and he's still living as it until. But he's announced that he's looking for a new animal. He wants a new suit, a new animal, something easier. So here are some of the ideas he floated, and like some of them make sense because you could walk up. One is another dog, which I'm like, that's not going to solve any of your problems. You're your thing. But he proposed a panda or a bear or another bear, which like bears walk up on all fours, so that allow you to have some time to relieve strain on your joints and stuff. But then the other two that I get, and it's like, dude, I don't get how either of these would work. One's too small. Another one, there's a bunch of different ones, but once again, you're running the same plan. His other two was like, he also thought about a fox, which I'm like, can't be a fox.
Yeah, foxes are too small.
It's too small. Or a cat. He just said a cat, which I'm just saying, well, okay, maybe he means big like cat also, tiger.
Yeah, again,
but
these are things that are on all fours.
Yeah, I'm like, if you're you're having issues with the collie and the stretch in your joints and stuff, like the bears made sense. Bears,
this
gorillas.
Story ends with him becoming a bird and either flying off into the sunset or being a splatter on the pavement when he jumps off of his high-rise apartment balcony.
Yeah. I'm wondering how much his next suit is going to cost.
What does he do for a living? This is
know.
an expensive hobby.
I don't know. I mean, this man's got to be in some sort of like tech something. I don't know.
Does he have a wife? Does he have kids?
He does more. No, he does not. Gotcha. He's like I said, he's not too fond of people.
Yeah,
he prefers being a dog. I just want to know. Like I said, he has to be making some good money to be able to drop $14,000. He's already thinking about putting in his next suit. I feel like a bear
at the team
suit.
Building exercise. Tell us something interesting about yourself.
But yeah, just he has come forward and said that he still loves being a collie, but he wants to move on to a new animal. We're not sure what yet. I'm sure when he makes his choice and drops like, I don't know, 20,000, 28,000 on his next
my
suit.
vote's on like a python.
I mean that
like
would,
an anaconda or something. Yeah,
that would be you'd be straight, so you wouldn't be putting any strain. That could work. That could work. If you're listening, maybe think about a snake. Snake could be very relaxing. My vote is for a bear. I do think a bear just sounds like the best choice. All right, let's get into some crime, Robert.
Yes, I like crime.
Get into some crime. So
who doesn't like a good crime movie?
I mean, a good crime movie. Actually, you know what? This story could make a good crime movie.
What is the ratio to crime versus cop movie? Well, I guess I get a lot of overlap there.
Yeah. But I was gonna say, so this would make a pretty good movie, but it would be this would be a comedic crime movie.
Okay.
So
of which there are many, but continue.
Here's the headline: 40 pounds of cocaine hidden in squid on the same ship that tried to traffic the drugs in shrimp prior.
Okay.
So
like, is this like? This has got to be like big bricks of cocaine hidden underneath the fish. Like it's not in the little baggies in the fish.
That's what I would assume. So it says Greek authorities found more than 240 pounds of cocaine concealed in a container with frozen shrimp on a ship at the port of Belarus. Okay. Police said. Police seized the drugs during an inspection of 13 containers. The coke was reportedly on its way from Peru to Croatia.
Okay, so this isn't the U.S. Yeah. This is like Greek.
Yeah. So here's the first part that stands out a little bit. No arrests were made.
Nice.
And this is
for all we know, the guys on the ship, they're just moving a box.
Well, as we go through the story more, because here's the thing. This is the second big bust of the same boat.
Yeah.
Just with different crustaceans in 2 weeks. So 2 weeks ago.
Wait.
This exact same boat.
Squid crustaceans?
No. The writer of this article wanted to try to say that, but it doesn't.
Okay, continue.
But anyways, so 2 weeks ago, authorities busted the international gang trafficking 463 pounds of cocaine. So were a little light this time. In shipping containers with shrimp from Latin America to Europe. 2 Greeks and 2 Albanians were nabbed as part of the string. So they arrested 4 people off this ship, trafficking 460 pounds of cocaine. Europe is reportedly the world's top cocaine market, but here's the part. Like I said, so we already have no arrests were made the second time, and then only 4 people arrested the first time. They didn't, take the boat or anything because the boat's back out there. And then here's the closing line of the thing, which just blows my mind. Authorities are investigating links between the 2 operations. Like, links? Maybe it's the same fucking boat.
Yeah.
Maybe you should take the boat.
Yeah. I feel like it would be so easy.
What do you mean links? It's the same boat.
I feel like it would be so easy to smuggle drugs into Europe.
Yeah.
Because you just got to pick a country that's lazy about it. And then like
Right,
once you're
right.
in, you can go anywhere.
Right, yeah.
It's like once you got it across the U.S. border, you can go to any state. Like there's no checkpoints.
Yeah, yeah. Once you're in, you're good. But yeah, I just love that looking for links, and I'm like, I don't know, maybe it's the same boat with the same guys that you didn't arrest last time on it. That maybe that's the link, that's the connection. I feel like the detectives don't need to dig that deep.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's just like UPS. Like they're the biggest drug smugglers in the world. They just don't know it. You know.
Yeah. All right. Next we have, and amazingly, this is not about a Tesla truck. It's about just showing how dumb everybody has become in this world. Here's the article. Ford pickup truck driver takes the back seat, literally, at 80 miles per hour on cruise control.
Ooh.
So, and here's the thing: I'm not saying this is any better, and this article states this too. So the Teslas have their autopilot.
Yeah.
You are still a complete moron if you leave that to drive your car.
Yeah.
But autopilot.
I think I also heard that like they're about to start like disabling the autopilot too.
Autopilot does have more features than adaptive cruise control, which I have in my car. But one thing that adaptive cruise control does is if you take your hands off the wheel for a certain amount of time, it starts pinging and eventually it pulls over. So this man was driving not a Tesla truck, which would have autopilot, which would not be better. I would still call you a moron, but this guy is more of a moron. He was driving a Ford F-450.
Okay.
He posted a video of him literally lying on the back seat completely. You can see in this photo, he is completely in the back seat.
He's chilling.
If you look at this photo also, you will notice there, because like I said, for adaptive cruise control, you have to have your hand on the wheel, right, Robert?
Don't they make like devices now that like mimic the hand or something?
I wish this man had a device, because what it appears to be, if you look at this photo again, he has 2 bags of like green beans.
Jesus.
Weighing down the wheel.
Scientist.
It feels like, and so this man was driving.
Oh, it's a weight thing. It's not even like
it's a weight
like
thing.
An electrical sensor or something.
No, it's just a weight. Because I've done, I mean, I haven't put green beans, but like I've had adaptive cruise control on, and you can just lay your hand on top of the wheel, and it will recognize it. But I'm still there. I'm not in the back seat. I'm driving, and I use my adaptive cruise control all the time. But I'm still fully aware. I'm not, because it's not driving itself. It's not. Yeah. It's especially not adaptive cruise control. But anyways, yeah. So this man took a video of himself going 80 miles per hour. The video is 20 seconds long. So that is 20. Like I said, one is also.
Does he crash?
No.
Okay.
It ends, or who knows? Because it ends with him just cutting off the video, and who knows what happened after that? Maybe I'm kind of hoping.
So we don't even know if this is real, honestly.
I mean, I guess it could.
It could be like a video.
Kind of
like,
be the. I mean,
some CG
in the video. Let me see if I can find if they have it on this one. I had it. Oh no, that's right. It's on freaking Instagram. But in the video, I mean, and like you said, you can't cut stuff together. So maybe I would honestly hope that, other than that, he's making other people think they can do it. But maybe he cut it together. But in the video, he like shows himself lying down, and he pans the camera forward to his front seat where the wheel is with the green beans, and you can also see stuff going past the windshield at a high rate of speed. And like I said, it's 20 seconds long. And I'm like, if this video is legit, I mean, how long do you think it would take? You put your car in adaptive cruise control, put green beans on. How long do you think it would take you to get from the front seat to your back seat and then lying down? Like, that's probably another 20 to 30 seconds, maybe longer. And then also once you end the video, another. So I'm like, it's like a minute of this man in his car. And I'm just like, we have officially become dumber than we used to be.
Look, he's driving. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of questions. Like, where was he?
Yeah.
If he was out in the, boonies, like, he could be on a stretch of highway that's pretty straight.
He could.
With no cars
I've
for
been
a
out
long time.
Like, on the way to Vegas, there's some decently long. I'm still saying it's still moronic. It's still dumb.
Agreed.
The human race, Robert. The human race. I have my doubts about us. I have my doubts. I don't know if we're going to keep going on at this rate.
I mean, we've been pretty dumb for a couple of 100,000 years.
True.
A lot of people died. A lot of people died. But we're going to stick around for a little bit.
Yep.
For sure.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. Got one more story. All right, Robert. We're going to do a little public service public service announcement, a little try and help out with this because this is also just a bizarre thing. So here's the headline. We're gonna dig in a little bit of this. It comes from NPR, and it is: Have you seen this emotional support gator? Wally's owner says he's lost in Georgia.
Oh,
I know.
I wonder if gators are in Georgia. I mean, they got to be, right?
Yeah,
they're
they
like
are.
next to Florida, right?
Yep. So in ordinary times, the social media account devoted to Wally Gator documented the nearly 6 foot long emotional support
6
alligator.
6 foot long.
Adventures.
6 foot long. This is not.
Yeah.
This is not a little gator.
This is not a little gator. This is
like full gator.
Around Pennsylvania, visiting nursing homes, splashing around in Philadelphia's fountain, and meeting the mayor and smiling contently in his red harness and as various admirers hug and hold him.
Like gators are not pets.
No, exactly. Like I said,
I mean, this dude's walking the gator.
Yeah. Oh yeah, he's walking the gator.
A little red harness. How cute.
The gator goes everywhere with him, including in recent days. However, he's been overtaken by pleas by Wally. Wally is missing, where his owner Joey Hensley says he was kidnapped, recovered, and released into a swamp. Henny and Wally were visiting friends in Brunswick.
It was like a
when
PETA thing.
Someone took the gator from his pen in the early morning of April 21st.
Why wouldn't you have this dude chipped up?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Wally was, and so
if ever there was a pet that needed a chip, tracking a low jack on it, it's the gator. Yeah. Outside of its natural habitat.
Yes. Wally was stolen by some jerk who likes to drop alligators off into someone's yard to terrorize them, the account posted. Once discovered, the residents called the department.
Wait, hold back. There's another story we need to be talking about.
Yes.
The dude who just the gator terrorist. I need that story.
Yes.
Where's that movie?
I want to know his backstory. What's going on? So, because I thought PETA too when I first read this, but no, because basically, once discovered, the residents who found the gator in their backyard called, as you do.
They did find the gator has been found.
Yes and no, because that's the thing. Well, no, it had been found, but the thing is, the people who found it in their backyard didn't know this was like someone's gator.
Oh,
so
yeah,
they
because
called
it's not
the Department
chipped up.
of Natural Resources. The Department of Natural Resources captured it, and they're like, well, it's a gator, so they released it into the swamp with a bunch of other gators that same day. So
it
Wally
can teach the others.
Wally is now back amongst his kind.
Where he should be.
I mean, where he should be. But so anyways, if you're in Georgia and you see a gator hanging out with other gators in a red harness, I mean, I'm assuming he's not wearing his red harness.
Yeah, they would have taken
But if you see a gator that's not eating you while the other gators are, maybe call it in. Also, like I said, I am torn on this. Department's like, I feel like Wally's back with his people.
He's where he
Wally should be there.
But
on the other side,
this is the owner's fault because he needed a collar or a wristband that says, if lost,
yeah.
call.
And definitely, like I said,
Return to.
My cat is chipped, and he don't even leave the house.
Yeah.
My cat and dog are chipped. I'm not trying to victim blame. I'm just saying, if you get Wally back, you need to get that gator chipped.
That's right.
That gator should be chipped. And
Public service announcement from the Watching It podcast. Chip your gators. As always, you can find us on our website, watchingitpod.com. There you can find links to our social media and to email us, watchingitpodcast@gmail.com. If you are the gator terrorist, we would like to interview you. It will be anonymous.
Yeah, total anonymity. Yeah. I don't even know how to say the word.
We have ethics. We will not just, contact us.
Yeah, reach out to us. We would love to hear
your story needs to be told.
Your thought process is in thinking, I need to steal a gator to terrorize. Like, what did is this your neighbors? Maybe, I don't know. What do they do to you? What would someone have to do to you, Robert, where you think I'm going to kidnap a gator?
Very little. If I had access to gators, there are several individuals that have done very little to me that would get gatored.
That would get a gator in their backyard.
Yeah. Get gatored. Coming to you from TNT this fall. Get gatored.
Yes. The Robert Bell documentary.
Starring Ashton Kutcher.
Oh, this sounds fantastic. All right, anyways.
What else should they do, Donnell?
Give us any rated reviews, 5 stars. If you'd like us to make that movie, send us like $7 million. And thanks so much for listening. Bye.